So every day, all those bodies come from the east and set in the west. Every year the same thing happens. The zodiac belt is always coming up from the east, and every month it moves 30 degrees. Right? So all your 12 constellations are moving 30 degrees every month until they go around every year. The great year, all of those same stars that seem to be going, there's a river in the sky and it all goes east-west. Every day they go east-west, every year they go east-west. But in precession, all of those same stars go backward. They just precess. That's what precession means. That's why they call this year precession of the equinoxes. Because those stars are going back every 72 years 1 degree. 1 degree, 1 degree, every 72 years, the average lifespan of a human being. And then finally it comes back to the equinoctial point, which is what we're doing. That's the galactic plane. Our sun does this every 24,000 years. We are right here now. We are about to go into the northern hemisphere of the Milky Way galaxy. We've been in the south for 12,000 years, and we go 12,000 years in the north. That is what's happening at 2012. The galactic plane looks something like this, and our sun has been traversing that slowly for the last 15 years. We are now around about there, and that's what 2012 is all about. That's all it is. It's an equinoctial crossing. But why aren't the governments of the world preparing a great big party? This only happens once every 24,000 years. Why the silence? Why is there so much silence about this beautiful science that is taking place right now in our lifetime? All right, so we see that the daily and the yearly motions of the stars are east-westward, but in precession they go the other way. So that's why you have pyramids and stones like Stonehenge and all these monuments that are there to monitor precession. That's why they're there. But they're also there for the day and the year. But most importantly, they're there for precession. Even the measurements of the pyramid, they're all measurements that are harmonics of the 24,000 year cycle. Now someone asked me in the break, why do you use 24,000? Well, when corrected, according to Walter Cruttenden, when corrected, because precession is not a constant, the figure of precession, the ratio and the rate is not constant. As we get closer to our sister star in this orbit, it speeds up. As we come racing towards Sirius, and Sirius races towards us, it speeds up here and it goes much faster than in the outer over here. So when corrected, it reduces down to 24,000 years, even though you will see the number of 25,920. But usually it's never under 24,000, and usually it's never over 25,920. Now, the other reason why I use 24,000 is because the Hindus do. Now this is a book by Sri Yukteswar called The Holy Science. Obviously that's where I got the theme for this talk today. I'm calling it The Holy Science because that's what they called it. That's what Marcus Manilius called it. Where did they get their information from? Well, we have to, begs the question. We need to ask that and do some research into that, because science doesn't tell you much about the great year. We've forgotten about it. You don't learn about it at school. You don't learn anything about it. It's creepy. It's the most important cycle that we should understand it, because then we can understand how history went from good down to bad, and went back up to good, then went back down to bad, like a yo-yo. Just like look, now we've got bad weather. We had better weather in summer. Now it's light. In 12 hours it'll be dark. These are the cycles. These are our cycles. We're locked into them. Locked. Just like the female is locked into the moon cycle, and has a menstruation cycle. She can't escape that. Men don't have it, but women cannot escape that. It's the moon that dominates them, just like the sun dominates us and the great year dominates our spirituality. And where we're going in the great year, the place where we're going right now is a beautiful place of enlightenment as we go through the photon belt and we get more gamma rays from the core of the Milky Way galaxy. That's what's going on. This is what Sri Yukteswar says in the opening words of his book. We learn from Oriental astronomy that moons revolve around their planets, and planets turning on their axes revolve with their moons round the sun. The sun, with its planets and their moons, takes some star for its jewel, binary. Yeah, is that right spelling? Yes. Because someone did ask me, what does binary mean? Well, it's two. Binary. Yeah, is that right spelling? Yes. Because someone did ask me, what does binary mean? Well, it's two. It's like the binary system in the computer. There's two stars. By the way, there's 80% of the stars that you see are binaries. The other 20%, well, we haven't watched them enough. But when we do watch them and pay attention to them, we will learn that there's no one star out there on its own. Just like our atoms must get together and form compounds and then cells, or go from compounds to molecules. What's a compound? Well, H2O, hydrogen and 2 of oxygen, makes water. And we are 75% water. So atoms like to congregate. It's very rare that an atom will just go monotomically, or a star will just float out there on its own. They all belong to star systems. And in fact, we're not just involved in a binary. We're also involved with the stars of the Pleiades, and in particular Alcyone, Pleiades, and we're also involved with Procyon. Alcyone, Pleiades, and we're also involved with Procyon. The small dog. This is the big dog. Sirius is in the big dog. Canis Major. Canis Major. Procyon is the small dog. They're the two dogs that follow Orion in the sky, the hunter, as he kills the bull, Taurus. Right? He's got his two dogs behind him. One's the small dog, and Sirius is the big dog. And the reason why they call it a dog is because it dogs our star. It follows our star. It's the dog. It keeps dogging our star, following it. It takes some star for its jewel and revolves around it in about 24,000 years. Of our Earth, a celestial phenomenon which causes the backward movement of the equinoctial points around the zodiac. Just what I've said. The stars go backwards. It's a phenomena where they go backwards every 24,000 years. Now, so you can understand that. As we orbit, it appears that the sun is rising in the east, but it's our sun rotating. Our Earth rotating, that's all it is. It's the Earth, we're moving. They're fixed, virtually. So we see all these bodies rising in the east and setting in the west. If we could live for 24,000 years, we would actually then notice the slow backward movement of these stars, and that's how we would know that we're in this cycle, because that's a cycle. Right. I'm labouring the point, and you'll see why, because it's so beneficial to learn this and understand this for what's to come, the next part. Just a few more proofs that we're in a binary. The Great Pyramid. There's King's Chamber, Queen's Chamber. There's a beautiful big King's passageway there, and then it shoots off there to the Queen's Chamber, and then it comes down here and there's the entrance there. There's some underground stuff going on down here, right? This is the one without the top. The all-seeing eye is supposed to sit in there. By the way, that represents ether, and this is fire, earth, air and water. Okay, ether, fire, earth, air and water. That's what the pyramid's telling you. That's the ether. It's uncapped for a reason. Yeah, well, it has too, yes, but when it's placed back on there, you will see this thing is going to come back to life very, very soon. Even the Bible talks about it. In Isaiah it says, there will be a monument built by the Lord in the heart of Egypt, on the border of Egypt, because it is on the border. Lower Egypt was everything from where the pyramid is. There's the Nile Delta, and there's the Mediterranean. The pyramid's right there. That was Lower Egypt. This is Upper Egypt, where Thebes is down here, and Luxor, and here is Cairo, and the pyramids on the Giza Plateau. That is in the middle of the land of the Lord. It will come back to life, and we will know what it was all about very soon.
Are they going to physically put a cap on that?
I don't know. It is, but something's going to happen with a cap. It's going to be found, because it was stolen, it was removed, and it was. There's a lot of information about this Ben, and over the thousands of years. If you read Tony Bushby's books, he's got a book. He's a Queenslander who exposes all of this false history that we've had, and explains some of these mysteries about the pyramids. Tony Bushby, and it talks about this, how it was stolen and removed. Annuis coeptis. Yeah, they put that on there. FDR put that on there because what it means is you've got annuis coeptis in Latin means announcing the conception. That was the year when the Freemasons and the banking system implemented its New World Order, because on the other side of that you've got Novo Ordis Secularis. The New World Order announcing its conception.
What year was that?
33. In 33, we became the banking system, all the countries became bankrupted, right? And we were used as collateral via our birth certificates for all their loans. So we're slaves under that system. Whilst we have a birth certificate registered, Regis is the king. You have given the title to your soul to the Vatican, and the people who manage this trust, we have a trust, it's worth about $15 million. Your birth certificate's worth a lot of money. The bankers are issuing bonds against it from the day you were born and making billions. You have earned billions for the bankers. Billions. Have a look at Tim Turner. Tim Turner on YouTube, America Can Be Free. And you will learn how he is bringing down the court system in America, probably single-handedly. Big suing, big cases. We're going to catch these bastards. The private guild have been running the Vatican's trust system since the Knights Templars from about the 1500s. They have been running this system. So when you go to court, you actually front up to the priest. It's ecclesiastical. It's the Inquisition. The summons is an indulgence. You're going there to pay an indulgence. You're going there for a court hearing. Father, I have confessed. Because they're managing your account. Because you're a ward of the state. You handed in your birth certificate. Yeah. Well, we do that to our children too. I did that to my son. But now I know. But you can collapse these trusts. There's a guy called Franco Collins in Australia. Check out his stuff. I'm promoting his stuff. And I'm doing seminars also on law, teaching us how we've been enslaved and how we can get out of it. Because every time you get a fine, a utility, everything, it's been charged already to your trust. When you pay, you go to the post office and you pull out wads of cash to pay for your electricity bill, it's already been paid for. Everything's prepaid. It's all prepaid. You're not they give you a statement for your utilities, not an invoice. It's just a statement telling you, we've already dipped into we've got your numbers, because you signed with us, we've got your numbers, we've dipped into your trust, it's been paid for, here's a statement. And you go to the post office and give them more money. We've been enslaved, we've been duped in a big, big way. But it's more important that we focus on this, because this will show you the biggest lie that was ever told. Not that one. That's the second biggest. The biggest one is about the Jesus history story. It's a big lie. It's a whopper. But the bigger you tell them, the more the stupid ones will fall. They'll fall. And they're going to their churches in droves, learning about a historical Jesus who's going to appear one day and save them. It's impossible. We are responsible for our own salvation through the course of love and consciousness and truth. We speak truth to one another. We verify things. We prove things. We are scientists and philosophers, lovers of wisdom. We don't go down their path. You see how people, when they get in a uniform, like a policeman, you see how they act, and they're tough, and they're over and above you, and they're going to indict you, and they're going to, and I've got tasers and I've got guns. This is barbaric. This world is barbaric how we've come, and we've allowed these police officers to walk our streets. They're just a corporation. Vic Roads is a corporation registered on the Securities Stock Exchange Commission in New York, to rub it in your nose. Not even in Australia. It's all of it. The Commonwealth of Australia, Vic Roads, all of these corporations are all registered in New York. They're traders.
Political parties as well.
Everything. Political parties, all of them. That's all it is. But this exposes them. First you get to the biggest lie, and then you deal with the second biggest lie, and all the ones thereafter. This is big exposure. There's a shaft running out there, there's a shaft there, there's a shaft there, there's a shaft there. The 4 air shafts of the pyramid, okay? This is south, this is north. These stars point to Draco in the north.
Aren't 2 of those blocked?
Yeah, they're all blocked.
Don't 2 of them only go out?
All of them. They're all blocked. They're all blocked around here. This is the Gutenberg.